Guys, today is the day of the vehicle inspection.
We passed! We passed! We've just made the decision to go back to the UK.
Whoa, gosh, it's so loud. We are full. Some extra loo rolls and things like that, so we don't need to go into any supermarkets from now, so we can get through to the UK. First stop is a supermarket. We've realised that we haven't got enough garlic. It's going to be an interesting journey, so let's hit the road. So yes, we chose Aldi because it was really quiet, the car park, when we arrived. Still is really quiet, and was so quiet in the store. So we managed to get in and out without any very virtually contacting with no one. Well, not actually contacting with anyone at all, but you know what I mean. So let's continue this crazy journey, my love.
See how we get on.
Right guys, just a little quick update on the way. The roads are fairly quiet. There's mainly lorries and obviously people going to work, but there's not much, well, there's not many camper vans, put it that way. So yes, and we've just seen fuel, diesel, for 90 cents a litre. I think that's the cheapest we've seen it for since ever. 90 cents. And if you get 150 litres, it works out 87 cents. So,
I don't know whether you and your mate can just fill it one after the other though. It has to be like a lorry.
I think it has to be a lorry. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, fairly quiet roads as we cruise on towards France. Alrighty guys, so we have just passed San Sebastian, the busy built up town, the city even. I think we've got about 10 kilometres left until we cross the border. There's been no issues so far. The roads have got a little bit busier as we go on, but all good.
Now at the moment we don't think we have to fill out any paperwork. We've got the page open for the French government website, which says, as it stands at the moment, yeah, for countries in the EU, blah blah blah, we should be fine.
As far as we know,
well,
we should be fine. They've got curfews going on in France, but everything is kind of, nothing's locked down, as in there's no borders closed or anything like that at this time, is there? We have crossed, oh, okay, I thought we were already there, but we're not already there. Oh, we are, there we go. So we've made it into France, but there is a sort of border control thing down here, so let's hope we just continue to go straight through. I mean, it's so busy everywhere, so I can't imagine them stopping people for any length of time if they are stopping people. So, so there you go. It's New Country Day. Just went past a couple of the policemen's, but no problem whatsoever. So the borders are completely still open, and it's no worries going to and from Spain and France as it stands right now. There's actually quite a lot of motorhomes, isn't there, going past and things as well. So how do you feel?
Is there a virus out there apart from this and the queuing up one in one out certain shops and stuff? Just, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't seem like there's a virus out there.
But there is,
But there is, guys. There is. It's not a fraud. I made it up.
And we will continue to isolate ourselves. We're full on fuel now. We're full on groceries. We've got everything we need to get all the way to the UK without having to come into contact with anyone. So let's see how our little journey goes. I'm actually quite excited now.
Yeah, sun's come out, clouds have gone.
You've got to be, haven't you? You've got to try and remain positive and stay happy and all that, no matter what. And yes, and I am. And you are, aren't you, love?
Yeah.
And the babies. Well, actually, the babies are just fast asleep. They haven't got a clue what country we're in. So our first little meal in Francia is sloppy burgers, we're going to call them. Black bean, vegetable burgers, because basically the reason why we call them slop burgers is because the mixture you don't make into a burger before you put it in the pan, or I didn't know how it was going to turn out. My little mini chopper chopped them up very well, a bit too much, so it was more like a sort of hummus consistency. So you slop them in the pan, then you make them into burgers in the pan. And actually, they've turned out really, really well. They're a bit misshaped, but look. And they smell quite, I don't know, they smell delicious. So we're going to get the chief taster to try them in a minute. And then we don't know what we're doing now. The weather forecast is quite good for the next few days. So Nick is now doing a little bit of research to find out some places to stop, you know, sort of as we head north, so we can kind of enjoy France a little bit rather than just rush through. How's it going, love?
It's quite exciting. We didn't plan this far ahead. We knew we were coming to France, but we haven't planned to see anything. There's the biggest dunes in Europe. We're going to definitely go and see, and the weather looks good for that. And then after that, it's going to need a little bit of work. Exciting though.
So we're going to have our slop burgers and get back on the road, because now, as we mentioned before, it gets dark really early, doesn't it? So you don't want to be driving in the dark. Well, we don't want to be driving in the dark. Bad enough driving in the daytime with Vinny. So we'll catch you guys when we're eating our burgers. Thoughts?
That's good. Really nice. Not too sloppy either.
Sloppy to start off with, and then they cook up all right, no?
Really nice flavour. A little bit of sauce, a little bit of dressing, slice of cheese.
You got crunchy onions in there and all sorts.
Crunchy onions for a bit of texture. Gorgeous. Another, fantastic burger, darling. Another one to add to the list.
Well, Charlie, up you get. Up you get. Boys are in their driving positions. Eh? You're good boys, aren't you, really? Yeah, good little doggies. And we're ready to hit the road after our quick stop for lunch. We have noticed as soon as we've come into France, the big difference is nobody's wearing masks. Are they? Because obviously in Spain, it's been, you have to wear masks everywhere you go as soon as you're outside anywhere, and it's been like that for months and months. So we're used to just having them the whole time, aren't we? Having to wear them the whole time, unless we're in the middle of nowhere.
So it's so nice. It's such a bonus to get somewhere, and you don't just have to put it on every time you leave.
Yeah, I mean, we are totally 100% about wearing masks in supermarkets and shops, or whenever we're near people, fine. But when you're just sort of, going from here, the van, to take your rubbish over to the bin, for example, it's nice to not have to do that, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. You love your mummy.
Yeah. Oh.
Welcome to France. Welcome to traffic jams. Now, this is another thing we have to prepare for is rush hour. We're trying to get the other side of this city to park up for the night. Forgot about rush hour, so I don't think I've experienced a rush hour traffic jam for about 10 years.
Yeah, basically we said before, the two things we've noticed since coming here from Spain is no masks, brilliant, but loads of traffic. Like, the roads are so good in comparison in Spain, or the places where we go in Spain, compared to here at the moment anyway. So an hour's journey's taking double the time, but it's all good fun. So hopefully we'll catch you guys when we get out of this traffic in about 2 weeks' time. Good morning. Well, the excitement has definitely worn off from yesterday. As you guys all know already, that France is going into lockdown from midnight tonight. There's no way we can get to the UK in a day. We have to go to the vets as well and wait, 24 hours after they have their worming tablet before we can travel. Blah blah blah. We just don't know what to do now.
Basically, we're about 1,000 kilometres, or just over 1,000 kilometres from Calais, and in Vinny, we can't push him too much because we don't want to break down in France when there's a lockdown. So that's at least 3-4 days driving most of the day. So we're just thinking what we should do. Our plan is to go. The leaf blowers are still out, so at least the streets will be clean of leaves. Deciding what to do, we're going to go to a police station and find out if we can print out a form and still travel back to the UK, even though it's not a good option. There's no good options at the moment.
Yeah.
At all. So
Our heads are telling us to turn around and go back to Spain, but our hearts are telling us to push on and get back to the UK. So I think we're still going to try and travel back if we can. And
I'm a bit worried about travelling through a country with foreign plates, going away from your country of residence.
Yeah.
And parked up at something like that, and then how's it going to be at Calais? So it's all a bit
stressful. I mean, we're UK citizens, so we're thinking we can still travel to the UK even though our residence is in Spain.
But anyway, this is getting a bit noisy. We're going to go
to
the
police station and we'll fill you in after we've been. So that was absolutely useless. He was actually a bit funny, I thought.
Explain that we need to go back to the UK. Is it possible to drive? Do we need to print out a document? And he said, can't answer it. Don't know.
Can't answer that question.
You need to go to Biarritz Airport, speak to someone there, or phone the British consulate.
I don't know, and just sent us away basically. Hushed us away, didn't he?
Yeah, so that was pointless.
So now what?
So now we're back to square one.
We're going slightly inland to a town that's got a police station. We're going to try another police station, one that's open. It looks quite big on the map images. So we're going to go there and see if we get see if we can get anything from there. But it's looking like we're thinking we're going to have to turn the van around and go back to Spain. I don't know if it's worth the risk. So we're going to give it one last try, see if we can get any information from the police station we're going to now. Right guys, just to update you, went to that second police station, told them the situation in French using a translator, and they just basically shook their heads at us, said that it's really not a good idea at all. They don't have any information whether we are legally allowed to travel back, whether we can travel back. They'll maybe know more from tomorrow. There's just too many uncertainties and too much risk, we feel, now in trying to get back to the UK, given the situation now in France, and obviously things are getting worse and worse, well, everywhere, aren't they? So we've made the tough decision to turn around, and we're currently heading back to Spain. We're obviously terribly worried about family and things in the UK. I know that so many people are in a position like this at the moment, not being able to see their loved ones and not knowing when we can see our loved ones, but everything is kind of against us getting back there now.
It's a lot of kilometres to do in little old Binster. If we should break down,
if anything happens. And the thing is, there's no information anywhere right now, and we've only got 4 hours left of daylight today, and then it's complete strict lockdown tonight, and it's sad and it's crazy, but we'll keep you posted what happens. But currently we are en route back to Spain. Guys, we have made it back into Spain without any dramas. It's absolutely full of traffic coming in, going out, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. And there's just so many people here from France.
The queue for the cigarettes, the tobacco shop was crazy. No social distancing either.
All the way out the door to get their cheap tobacco, I suppose, before it goes into lockdown later on today. So anyway, we're back in Spain, which is a relief, I guess. And now the sort of mission is to get out of the Basque Country, because the Basque Country does have heavy restrictions here, as in they're kind of locked their borders down, so we read. So
it's crazy though. We just worked out that we've probably, since we decided, okay, we have to stop travelling and seeing places and just get back to the UK. We've driven probably about 700 kilometres, so now we've got to drive back that way to get to a, alright area.
So let's see where Vinny's little wheels take us to now. Right guys, well, thank you for watching the last 2 vlogs, and that brings you right up to speed to kind of current day and where we are now. So And it's been quite a crazy one, hasn't it? A lot has happened, and it's probably going to continue to get kind of crazy before it gets better. But we'll just have to see what happens.
You're taking it like day by day, or less than that, hour by hour. You're checking the news all the time, and then suddenly somewhere else goes into lockdown, or another region closes, or more restrictions are added. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So yeah, we're absolutely gutted we couldn't go back to the UK. You know, we were actually looking forward to it. Can you believe it? And you know, we had planned, if you've been following us, we had planned originally to go back in spring and spend, you know, several months there, or the whole summer there, but then COVID came, so we couldn't go back then. And then we really wanted to go back before the end of the year, because after Brexit there could be complications with the dogs and the van insurance and all that sort of thing. But then it's the blooming ITV.
Yeah,
right?
The vehicle inspection has been what's stopping us from leaving Spain ever since COVID, basically, because we've had to do two tests, haven't we?
Because Vinny's old, so we have to do them every 6 months basically, and because of COVID it was delayed, so we had to do one in July, and then we had to wait round to do this one in November. So basically it's all bugger, but we still plan to go back. We really wanted to see family.
As you'd seen in the video, we said, well, we'll do it anyway, but everything was kind of getting worse and worse. Like there was more cons than pros to going back, and then the French lockdown was just the last straw, wasn't it? And the fact that, you know, Wales went into lockdown, and it was like, well, all of my family are in Wales, so I'm probably not going to be able to see them. So it was just kind of getting. So basically, even though we wanted to
go over and see my mum especially, and you know, help them out, but it would literally we would have been stuck on the drive. Wouldn't be able to see any of Sarah's family. Wouldn't have been able to see my brother or sister. It would literally be on my mum's drive, and then
and now obviously the UK's gone into lockdown, hasn't it, now as well? So we just kind of said, look, you know, we're just gonna get back and come in the new year, and come for, like we originally planned, for several months, you know, kind of arrange a meet up and see some of our lovely subscribers and see a bit of the UK, the beautiful UK in spring rather than this time of year.
Makes more sense to just sort the dogs out and the van out after Brexit. Once Brexit has happened, we know what's going on, so we can come over for longer and enjoy
see everyone and enjoy it. So that's what we've ended up doing, and I think we're happy that we've made that decision. But it was very close, wasn't it? We were on our way.
Flip of a coin, it would have been.
It felt like a flip of the coin. But anyway, so here we are, guys. You're probably wondering where we are and where we've ended up since we've come back into Spain.
Well, we are now in Galicia, or are we? Are we in Galicia, or are we in Castilla?
We're actually in no man's land. We're right between two provinces. There's a sign there for Zamora, I think the province is called, which is in Castellon, and then the sign for Galicia is just there, and we're just on a little piece of wasteland in between.
This is crazy. Yeah, we basically, Spain's autonomous regions have been locking down, and you're not supposed to travel out of them.
Yeah, you're not supposed to cross borders, you're not supposed to travel out of them and travel into them. By the time this video goes out, there's probably more restrictions. In fact, I think there's already more restrictions. We haven't checked the news today. Pretty sure municipalities are getting locked down and everything else too. So Spain is basically kind of locked down.
So that's why we've come this way. You know, we want to stay travelling as long as possible. You know, we've had a really strict lockdown back
at the beginning of the year. It was so strict, and we're not ready to go back to a house and be really locked down properly. So we decided the most sensible thing to us to do was to get across Spain, and then we can travel back south through Portugal. We've still got so much of Portugal that we want to explore, so that's kind of the plan.
But it was gutting though. On our drive back, you know, we covered quite a few kilometres because we wanted to get here, and did that in a couple of days, but we had to drive past the Picos again and all those lovely beaches on the coast. It was really tempting to go, shall we just go up there, let's just go and explore, we're right here, or just to go and chill on a beach.
But with the restrictions that are coming out, it's not right, is it? We shouldn't be travelling around and enjoying ourselves when people are restricted to their towns. You have to respect the people, and so that's what we're doing, and we're kind of leaving Spain and travelling through Portugal where there's less restrictions. We're going to stay away from big cities or towns or anything like that, and hopefully we can slowly continue sort of south through Portugal.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Because while we've been here in no man's land the last 2 days because there was a Portuguese holiday, which meant we couldn't cross into Portugal.
Yeah.
So
Well, we probably could, but we decided again to respect the laws where you're not supposed to be moving about during the holiday. So we just stayed put in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so that's bringing you guys right up to speed. Now, before we go, the most important thing has to happen. Now, check out this absolute adorable sweetness by the side of me. It's the boy's birthday today. It's their 7th birthday, so they've got their little birthday jumpers on, and I thought before we go, we would just be complete cringe bags and sing happy birthday to them. So if you're watching along, guys, you could all sing too.
Are we? Are we?
Oh, we're not.
Are we?
Oh, right, no, we're not.
Just
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Charlie and
babies.
Dizzee. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to get so many treats today. They've already had loads of treats already, and they're going to get so many more, aren't you? Because there's not much nice walkies going on today because it's raining.
Seven. They're 7. Can you
years
believe
old.
it?
Yeah.
Charlie doesn't look a day older than being a puppy. Dizzee looks a bit like an old man.
Now, obviously, because they're rescue dogs, we don't know the exact day of their birthday, but we chose today because you have to put a date in the passport, and obviously we want a day to sing happy birthday to them. So there we go.
And it's also my mum and niece's birthday today, so yeah, it means that I don't forget their birthdays when it's our dogs. But anyway, yeah, so we're not going to say too much. Our plan is to head south through Portugal, inland, staying away from everything, but that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
Who knows where we'll be when you next see us. but anyway, best end this vlog now. So thank you so much for watching, and we hope you all stay safe and keep positive. We'll get through this, and we'll update you guys really, really soon.
Take care, guys. Be safe.